Over the last few years, alternative funds have seemingly become a rather attractive source of capital for Indian businesses. Private funds have been providing capital to businesses across various stages of their life. Unlike traditional sources of finance, who have a slightly more limited risk appetite and maybe more restrained because of macro conditions, private capital tends to be somewhat more patient, and they take a much more nuanced view of the risks of investing into private companies. Now, until about 2012, India only governed venture capital funds from the mid 90s or so. And then there was a real regulatory impetus to bring within the fold of a wider set of regulations all sorts of alternative private funds. And today, the entire gamut of privately pooled funds are covered in the AIF regime, as it's commonly called. By definition, an AIF is a privately pooled investment vehicle that collects commitments from investors and invests it in accordance with a defined investment objective or policy. The regulations take a light touch approach to governing AIFs on the premise that it is meant for sophisticated investors, and there is a minimum ticket size for an investor to invest. The regulations focus on transparency and disclosure. They regulate the sponsor and the manager of the AIF and also require the sponsor and manager to put in investment into the AIF so that they are aligned with the interests of the investors. There are three categories of AIFs, and this is designed by the government and by the regulator to allow for concessional benefits to be made available depending on which category you fall under. Category 1 is where the government and the regulator thought there would be positive spillover benefits to the economy and to the country. Category 2 is where the bulk of the private equity funds sit. Category 3 is where the hedge funds and listed focused funds sit. All AIFs have the flexibility to structure themselves as trusts, companies, or LLPs, limited liability partnerships. The success of the regulatory regime of alternative investment funds, to my mind, is because inflow of foreign capital does not require any approvals, does not require any registrations. And importantly, repatriation of money from the AIF to foreign investors does not require any approvals and does not have any restrictions. And the inter se economics of the investor and the fund are left as a matter of commercial contract between them. An important factor to consider is under the exchange control laws, where the sponsor and the manager of an AIF are owned and controlled by resident Indian citizens and they control the AIF, investments from that alternative investment fund are considered domestic investment, which means that foreign exchange restrictions, foreign investment restrictions don't apply to that AIF. In addition to those, the single most important factor is tax transparency of the AIF, which means when an investor invests in an AIF and the AIF makes investments in a portfolio company, the tax is computed as if the investor had directly invested in the portfolio company, and therefore there is no tax leakage, which provides a significant advantage to homegrown managers. There are, of course, a few other relaxations available in other ancillary laws. For example, significant beneficial ownership rules under company law don't apply to them. They have some exemptions under the takeover code. Some categories have exemptions under competition rules and also under the ICDR regulations.